So we live in a van in the UK.
I had a midlife crisis and I went and bought a van.
Oh my god. We're 1 week into van life and we've broken down.
I live completely rent-free. I don't pay any council tax. I get free electricity.
Well, the joys of van life. Sometimes, don't you just love van life? I love van life, I love van life.
So I have got some very difficult decisions to make, and it involves possibly trading my home for a van.
Why would the government be trying to ban van life? Well, that is the question that everybody wonders. People can't even afford to put the heating on in their house.
Isn't it so funny how some people still believe that we're living our best life, you know, we've got our own self-converted van, we're living down by the beach, you know, we've got everything we need, we're able to survive, we look healthy and happy, but some people still perceive it as we're homeless. And I feel like it's such a shame, because nowadays in like the 21st century, like, your home is basically whatever you call it and make it. And to me especially, home is being with Julian, as opposed to an actual house which is fixed in a place that we don't necessarily want to be around.
This is our van. Oh my god, you're right. Why don't we just rent or buy a house? Well, let's start with averages of how much it's going to cost us according to Google. Rent is going to cost you a £1,200 average for a small flat or a small one-bedroom house. Your gas is going to cost you £160 a month. Electric per month is £60. We all know that's a lie. Standard price of broadband is £40 a month. You've got to pay council tax. According to Google, that's £100 a month. Insurance for your house or flat is £40 a month. If we move out of the van, we're going to need 2 cars to get to and from work and do chores. To insure those 2 cars, we're looking at £200 a month. Plus to tax those 2 cars, you're looking at around £60 a month. For 2 people in the UK, it costs £415 to buy food.
Right then, welcome back to Blighty Blighted. Sit yourself down. We need to have a proper chat about something that's been troubling me no end. I've been gobsmacked watching these young people, and not so young people, mind you, on the social media telly, living in vans. Not by choice, you understand, but because they simply cannot afford a roof over their heads. In my day, a working man could buy a house on a single wage. A modest terrace, nothing fancy, but it was yours. Don't get me wrong. Some of these young ones are making the best of a rotten situation. Fair play to them. But when a qualified professional can't afford to rent a one-bedroom flat where they work, something's gone very wrong with this country. We used to build council houses. We used to believe everyone deserved a home, not just those born with silver spoons in their mouths. Now we've got people living like homeless vagabonds in their own country.
We've just had a snap and then a We've got no power. We've just managed to crawl back to a supermarket to see what's wrong. So hopefully it's not as bad as it sounded.
It sounded awful. Do van life, they said. It'll be fun, they said. Luckily, we've been travelling with our friends cousin Tom, and Tom's a technician, so they've just caught up with us and Tom's going to have a quick look. What's the verdict, Tom?
It's not good news.
Oh no.
I found this in the top of the air filter, which is the centre spindle for the turbo.
Not meant to be there.
Definitely not meant to be there. So we're taking it apart and the turbo is blown.
So the turbo's fucked, basically.
Turbo's gone ski.
Yeah.
And you don't even need to know what a turbo looks like to know that this is bad.
It's in there, so if you look in this hole, you can see the sides of the turbo are all mashed up and the vanes are all gone, so... God. Game over.
So the snap noise was a snap noise,
It was
and
a snap
the was a sad turbo.
We're now stuck in a supermarket car park, can't go anywhere. We actually can't even move the van to park it into a space properly. And if you don't laugh, you'll cry.
No matter what situation you're in, there's a way of fixing it.
I wish I had your mindset, Tom. Okay, turbo is coming out.
Evens out.
The state of it.
Rip it out. Fucking look at the state of that.
The oil return line has been kinked. The turbo has been starved of oil.
The anxiety in me is a little bit more reassured that there's a potential reason why it's happened. So then hopefully it shouldn't happen again. It's the next day. Lewis and Tom have been searching for parts. Cheapest they can find a turbo for here in Portugal is €760.
So we've got one from the UK on the way. We managed to get it on our warranty, so it's half the price. It's on next day delivery, and it's a Saturday, so it won't be coming tomorrow because it's Sunday. Hopefully it will be here by Tuesday.
It's now Wednesday and we're no closer to receiving any of our parts. We are getting completely fed up now.
Still stranded here in the car park. Kez and Tom's time is running out also, so they're going to have to get back on the road, and it looks like I'm going to be installing our turbo whenever that turns up.
It's all a bit of a nightmare. Cross your fingers for us, please.
I thought I could turn up to the beach and just pitch up on the sand, but no one told me how to turn this from a tin can to something really livable, and now I'm fucking freezing cold every night. It's so cold.
Thanks to the solar panels on the top up there, I don't have gas, so I don't have to pay for gas. My water is completely free. Now, I'm not saying this to gloat or do anything like that. I mean, I've paid my dues. I was working since the age of 11, working hard as well. When I was old enough to get a bus driving licence, I've spent the next 17 years driving buses, coaches, all over the world. I then moved over onto truck driving. This whole time I was living paycheck to paycheck to paycheck, constantly working every minute I could possibly work just to prove myself as a good employee. So I don't really need to impress absolutely anybody. Might not be your lifestyle, but for me, traveling and exploring is extremely passionate about it. I know what I meant there. So currently I'm in the Lake District. I've got a gorgeous view outside. I'm doing my hobby as my career, thanks to such an amazing bunch of followers that I've got on here, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. And I'm living my best life, and I'm showing people that they can do exactly the same, whatever their dream is. So I hope you, even though that's you, I hope you get to follow your dreams as well.
Homeless electrician cooking in his van. Hi, my name's Ron. I'm an electrician based in the Bristol area, and I've been living in the back of my van now for 8 months. The reason I've been doing this is to save money on rent and bills, of which I've saved about 9 grand so far. My goal is to save 50k by the middle of next year. I've saved 29k in total. And as requested, tonight I'm showing you how I cook meals in the van. So I came up with Ron's 1-5-10 rule. 1 pot, no more than 5 ingredients, no more than 10 minutes. This keeps it super convenient in the small space I have. Now tonight I'm making prawn pasta. And in keeping with Ron's 1-5-10 rule, I have 5 ingredients: prawns, herbs, pesto, garlic and pasta. I start by chopping the herbs and the garlic. Once I've done this, I set them to the side and then heat a pan to fry the prawns in. Now I don't have a built-in stove in this van, so instead I've been using the same camping stove that I've been using for 15 years. I did this because I've been living in the van to save money and I just wanted to keep costs low. To be honest, it works really well, but sometimes I could do with an extra hob. Having said that, gas has only cost me £20 a month. Now once I've fried the prawns for 3 minutes, I then set them to the side and use the same pan again without washing it to put the water in for the pasta. Again, this is in keeping with Ron's 1-5-10 rule of only using 1 pot. And to keep the cooking time within 10 minutes, I use fresh pasta, which takes no more than 3 minutes to cook through. Once that's finished, drain the pasta and mix all the ingredients together. And there you have it, a decent van life meal prepared with 1 pot, no more than 5 ingredients and in no more than 10 minutes. Please like and follow if you want more van life and cooking videos. And if you do have any tips yourself, please leave a comment in the comment section. Thanks again for watching.
Only me again. Just thought I'd jump on because, you know, hopefully we provide some sort of value on this channel. But as you know, we were heading to a park for night spot. That didn't work out, so we've ended up at a Brit Stops tonight. And I know a lot of people say it's not worth the money, but considering the Burley cider farm and now this spot that we found, to us, £44 a year, I mean, it's completely free to stay here. There's toilets, there's waste disposal, there's free water, there's washing up. We're in the middle of a field, just us, the gates are closed, the business isn't even open yet, the owners are just that lovely. They've opened a little early to Brit Stoppers, and yeah, it's just, mwah, wow, bellissimo. So you come in over here, and then this is the massive, huge field that you can park on, minding the strawberries that are growing for the pick your own. There's a little farm shop there which is open at the weekends at the moment, and then the whole farm opens 7 days a week as of the end of May. Got a children's play area in here. This is sort of the parking for cars in the day, but as of 5 o'clock down the end of this track here, they close the gates, so it's only Brit Stoppers. And over there in the distance where Trist is where the toilets, waste disposal, water and bins are. All of that for free for Brit Stoppers. I think that, combined with the Burley cider farm, in my opinion, is worth £44 a year, because these are both exclusive to Brit Stops.
I have so much research to do. I mean, this has always kind of been a thought in the back of my head, you know, for a number of years. I'm certainly not in a financial position to just go out and actually buy a van that's ready made to live in. So I'm gonna have to be smart about this if it's something that I'm gonna go ahead with. What's making me consider it more now is recently being told by my landlord that he may have to put the rent up. And in all honesty, I'm getting to that line now where I'm just like loads of people, you know, like probably half the country, I'm absolutely fed up in a way of just everything going up. Now, if the rent on this house goes up, which it is going to, I'm going to be stuffed. I'm not saying that van life is cheap. This is all what I'm looking into, and I would be very grateful for any advice from anyone that already does van life on what I can expect. But just as a little bit of a backstory, I've only been in this house for a year and a half. It is rented. The house that I lived in before, which was also rented, was quite a large property. It was an old Victorian house spread over 4 floors, which came in very handy for me as far as the photography stuff goes and the modelling stuff. I was able to, you know, use it as a studio. What crippled me on that house, even though the rent was higher than this one, it was actually the council tax. The council tax was a band E, which is hideously expensive for the Northwest, and that is what buggered me up. And then of course, with it being a bigger house, the heating, that was a lot more money. So I had to, you know, downsize to the house that I'm in now. And even now I'm struggling because since I've been here, everything has gone up again. I'm behind on my gas and electric bill. I'm now just fallen behind on my council tax bill. And now the landlord tells me that he's probably going to be putting the rent up before the year is out. Like, my shopping, it's almost non-existent. I'm usually running out of food before the next time I'm paid. And there's times I'm not eating right, or I'm not eating at all. Something has to change at some point along the line, and I'm fed up of doing this now. So because of my lack of financial means, I am looking at getting a decent second-hand van and actually doing it up from scratch. The little bit of an advantage that I have there is my dad is a builder. He's very, very good at his job, and I just announced to my dad last night, and I said to him, I'm like, Pops, I think I want to get a van and do this and all that lot. So he's actually coming by this evening, and we're just running over a few things on, you know, tallying up a rough cost. I'm going to keep this one short for now, but I'm going to post another video a little bit later on explaining the details of exactly what I'm going to do and how I'm going to do it. I'm going to see what my dad says when he comes over now, and yeah, I'll catch up with you in a little while.
In England in 2024, people are getting themselves into stupid amounts of debt just to live. And you're right, we've got a massive issue with homelessness in England. So why wouldn't the government be supporting people trying to live a life that they can actually afford? Because after all, a lot of the issues have stemmed from them. In November, Suella Braverman was trying to pass a law which would ban homeless people from living in tents. And because her head's so far up her Tory ass, I'm surprised she could even see the tents out the window. The government are just bullies. And if they stop spending so much money on potential eyesores, which to be honest are just unfortunate people that are trying to live and survive, and actually concentrated their efforts on the source of the issue, which 99.9% of the time is money, then maybe we wouldn't even be having this conversation. And I understand it's not that easy, and even massive countries like America have a massive homeless problem, but they set up small camps for them to live in. They're not trying to ban tents. And if you're one of them people that say, oh, but it's an eyesore, well, I'm sure they didn't want to be living in tents either, because I'm pretty certain that when these homeless people were kids, they weren't dreaming of living in a tent, begging for change and shivering themselves to sleep. And a majority of them are only in that position due to the government's mistakes. Well, just damn right neglect. So why are they trying to ban people from living in vans? And the only answer I can give, truly, is because they're dicks. They're just greedy, nasty people. They're sat there with millions of pounds in bonuses whilst trying to ban homeless people from living in the only means of warmth and shelter that they have, because they can't go to a homeless hostel because there's not enough of them. And that is why that I'm doing van life, because I'm not buying into their stupid games anymore. The only way that we're ever gonna see change in this country is by people going against what they want us to do. So until then, I'm gonna go and hide out in the mountains, go over to our European friends, and just watch this country fall apart.
Yo guys, what you saying? Being with weather today in the UK, just to let you know, the Portugueser is being kicked out from the famous TikTok landlord. We're gonna be homeless. But you know what's come to my head for a long time? Van life. Guys, who wants to keep wasting their money every month, paying crazy money on bills and shit? Do you know what? Fuck it. We're gonna buy a camper. We're gonna have a camper van life with the Portugueser. Guys, do you think this is gonna be a good chapter in my life now? The van life? let me know in the comments. Will you be interested in seeing some content with van life? If you are, then drop a follow on my page just here. Van life. Everyone, big up from the Portugueser. Cheers. We're out, man. Big up.
Let me know your opinions.
Recently, I headed off to Margate on the Kent coast to meet up with Lynn. She has a very interesting story about how and why she lives in a van.
I was made homeless by a landlady who wanted to put the rent up. So I got myself a van and I'm making the most of it. Being a pensioner, I'm allowed £473 a month for housing benefit, which wouldn't cover the rent. All properties now about 700, 750. So I would have to top it up out of my pension, which with the rising cost of gas and electric and all that as well, it just wouldn't work. So it's probably the only option. And so I just sold everything and bought a van.
Hi, I'm Lynn, 66-year-old retired single lesbian living in a van.
I'm like a snail with my home on my back. I just go anywhere. If you're thinking of van life and giving up the rat race of lining other people's pockets, then take the plunge and do it, because it's liberating. It's freedom. Take the bull by the horns and do it. You're dead a long time.
Until we come up against these little issues like today. So, it's only a brief one, I won't bore you, but these are some of the things we come up against living van life. Having or not having an address sometimes can be a little bit of an issue. So yesterday I went to the cash machine to take some money out, and I realised that my debit card expires next month. So I was like, right, okay, remembering that my debit card is registered at my old address. So obviously I have no access to that anymore. So I rang the bank up and I explained the situation. I said, how do I go about getting a new card? Anyway, what a bloody rigmarole it were. I were on the phone for 40 minutes. Bless the lad, he was trying his best to help me. And I appreciate it's not a situation that they come up against every single day. So he said, okay, so that's not your address anymore. Can I update your address on the system? Bearing in mind, after I'd told him I live off grid, I don't have an address, I have no fixed abode, however you want to put it. Came back and said, can we update your address on the system? Banging me head against a brick wall for 5 minutes. Well, not a brick wall, because I ain't got a brick wall. But I was banging my head against something. So anyway, he put me on hold, he came back, and he said, do you have an address? So anyway, here's me trying to stay calm and not lose me shit. And explained again the situation. I live off grid. I do not have a physical address. I live in a motorhome. Oh, okay, let me just put you back on hold again. Anyway, guys, long story short, 40 minutes later, he came back on phone and he said to me, right, okay, what you can do is go into a branch, order a card to be delivered to that branch. I said, okay, that's fine. That's great, we're getting somewhere. Got a phone and thought, right, okay. I mean, how many branches of banks are open these days? They're shutting down everywhere, aren't they? So today's mission has basically been finding a bank and getting a card ordered. So other than like getting my jobs done, topping up water and diesel and just having a shower, that's why my hair's wet, I've not really got much else done. But I've ordered a card to a branch, which now means that I've got to go back to that area in 5 working days, which is going to be like the middle of next week, and pick that card up. So, not a problem. They didn't say, oh, it was no issue. But, I did say, look, there's no point sending anything to the old address because I don't live there. So sometimes, not having an address can be a bit of a blag, let's just say, can be a bit of a nightmare. But there's ways around things, guys, as proven there. So anybody in that position with banks, you can get your card delivered to a branch and go and pick it up from a branch. It's the same way, I mean, everything else is pretty, most things these days are paperless. So, I mean, if people still get I wouldn't imagine people really still even get mail these days because so much is paperless, or you can opt for paperless. It's like dentist, doctors. I mean, I've not been to a dentist or doctors for 4.5 years, which is probably not a bad thing, but I would have liked to have found a dentist to get my veneer sorted, and I've tried with that. One, a dentist will not accept me because I'm not a resident of that area, and two, I don't have a fixed abode, that one again. So sometimes can be, I mean, listen, I only wanted to get my veneer sorted. It's not a big deal. On the plus side, I'm not getting poisoned with fluoride, so not seeing a dentist isn't the end of the world. But yeah, little bits like that sometimes in van life can be a little bit of a inconvenience. Let's just say it's not a drama, it's not a nightmare, it's just a bit of an inconvenience sometimes. But there's ways around things, there's ways around everything. So yeah, I just thought I'd share that with you, the little hurdles that we sometimes come up against in van life, and not having an address, because we all know, oh, I'm on a tangent now, that's it, I'm off. We all know why we're meant to have an address. You know, they don't want us living van life. We're not supposed to live off grid. We're not supposed to be living this life because we've gone against the grain, and we're not meant to be doing this. We're seen as the badasses of society, if you like. They want you living in a house because when you've got a name and a date of birth, you know, the name is obviously usually the corporation anyway, the surname, capitals, and your date of birth, which is completely different to your born day, by the way. Most of you know that, some of you don't. Look it up if you don't, do your own research. And an address, because that's how you can be contactable, that's how you can be, more to the point, controllable. So when you've not got an address and you like to make things difficult for them, they like to make things difficult for us in return, because every action has a reaction, right? But like I say, there is ways around everything. So I'm sure there's people that's lived van life longer than me and come up against these things and dealt with these things, but for anybody that hasn't, I think the debit card lasts for like 4 or 5 years. But for anybody that is facing that situation, hopefully that will be a little bit of help to someone, that you can go and get your debit card delivered to a branch, and then you can go and collect it from a branch. You just need ID, which I've only got one form of ID, and that is a driving license. Don't get me started. But yeah, I've got a driving license. I feel like going off on a massive tangent about all sorts of different subjects right now, but I'm not going to, because this subject was about me debit card inconvenience today. Well, yesterday and today. But you know what? We've got it sorted. And like I said, there's ways around everything. For other things, anybody needing an address or thinking of going off grid, thinking doing this life, you can use the addresses of friends, family, as a care of address, and companies and corporations and whatever will accept that. Excuse my amateur camera work today. It was just a quick one while it was fresh in my mind. I thought I'm going to share that with you. But yeah, like I said, guys, there's always ways around everything. Don't let it put you off doing the wonderful world of van life, because most of the time it is wonderful. But like everybody else out there in the clown world, we do come up against problems as well sometimes, or little issues that we have to deal with, let's just say. Anyway, I've ranted for long enough. That's about it for today. Any problems, I'll let you know. Thanks for watching. Catch you on next one.
Hello TikTok, just an update video to let you know I'm moving out of the van tomorrow and moving into the wood location, so tomorrow I'll be moving in there. Some issues that I'm running into is I'm going to struggle to keep my phone charged because I'm not getting the solar panels till next week. So, yeah, I'm going to struggle getting online and what have you until next week. So, just so you're aware. And, but after next week, I should be back to normal. I should have enough, like, means to produce power and stuff like that. So, yeah. But tomorrow I might do a update video when I'm at camp, show you what it looks like and stuff like that while it's thingy, and then yeah, you probably won't hear anything from me until next week, and then hopefully I'll do an update video and the camp area looks a lot better. But yeah, and this is literally the last night I'm spending inside back of the van. You guys know the van if you're regular to my lives and stuff. So yeah, me dog in woods tomorrow. I bet I can't wait. Alright. So yeah, I'll check in tomorrow for my last video until next week. So yeah, see you guys.
Living completely rent-free is only one of the benefits of living inside this van. I choose to work 1 year to get 4 years off. I can drive trucks and coaches, and I can do that anywhere in the world. I don't need to pay council tax. I've got free water. I've got solar panels on the roof generating free electricity. That free electricity runs my induction hob. I've got an air fryer, fridge, freezer, full shower, double bed, this amazing ceiling lining, another big sofa area just there. I've got Starlink up there on the roof so that I can have internet no matter where I am in the world. I can literally travel the entire world if I so wanted to. I've got the convenience of being wherever I want to be, whenever I want to be there, to do however the hell I want to do, whatever it is that I want to do. I can near enough park anywhere that I want. My back garden is literally the entirety of the UK. My pets are literally the wildlife that I see around, whether it be...
Anyway, that's my tuppence worth. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Same time next week if the good Lord's willing. Cheerio.